My name's Orla, and today I'm going to be giving a quick update on what I'm writing. So, as you all probably know by now, I published a novel, The Butcher, the Boy in Action T4, which I'm immensely proud of. And since then, obviously, publishing the book and looking into promoting my novel, I've not really had much time to write other projects. So I want to talk about what I'm going to start and what I'm going to continue working on. So first of all, there is a play that I have finished writing. I'm not sure if I want to publish it yet, but I want to go over it, have a look, and see if I need to do any further editing. But I am hoping that in the next 2-3 years, I might be able to get it produced as a full-on theatre performance. Even if it's just a one-off, 1 or 2 days of the performance, I'd honestly be happy with that. Because since it's a play, obviously I would love for it to be performed by people. So I'm going to be looking into that a lot as well. The other thing I'm working on is around last year, I think it was, I finished writing the first draft of my sci-fi novel, but I wasn't happy with it. So throughout the past few months, I've been writing out the outline of the whole series, because it's going to be multiple books. So I've been sort of figuring out, the outline, writing bits of dialogue here and there. So now I've got a better idea of the world building and the planets in this novel and the characters. I've started to write the first draft again. A lot of it is similar to the original first draft, but there's a few sort of plot holes or things that I originally wrote in that don't make sense anymore due to the backstory and history I've added into this world. So I'm very excited to get into writing that. It's definitely going to take me a while to finish writing, and my plan is to hopefully have most of the books, if not all of the books, already written and ready for publishing before I publish them, if I decide to do that. So when the first book comes out, I'm hoping I'm at least on the third book, maybe even at the end of the series, just so I can make sure that I'm able to just make sure I'm able to keep up. And also, just in case I change small bits of the plot, at least I'll be able to go back and change things if I need to. So that's going to be one of my main projects that I'm going to be working on, is a sci-fi novel. There's also another project that I am midway through writing. It's set in the US during the 50s and 60s. And I don't want to say too much about it, but it's not really a part of history that I'm fully educated on, I guess, because I'm not from the US. And the whole premise of the book is about the deinstitutionalization that happened with mental facilities, and sort of just the history behind women being put into mental institutions. There's a lot of things in the plot, not directly, but obviously there's references to lobotomies and other forms of praxis that they used to use. So I really need to focus in on the research. So far what I've written is historically accurate and I'm pretty happy with it, but I really want to go more into the social aspects of it and what society believed during this time, and sort of work that into my novel more, because in the book there's 2 doctors and they have very differing opinions on their practice and what should be done. So I want to look further into that, and obviously it's set during the 50s and 60s. So one of the doctors has more of a progressive opinion of society and the people he's looking after, but there is still going to be some things that are not the same as obviously a doctor in modern day. So I'm really just trying to perfect it, I guess, especially because it is yet again another sensitive topic. To be really drawn to more sensitive topics or more serious themes. So I want to make sure that what I'm doing is accurate and a good representation of these people, especially the patients in the novel, because they're very key characters, and a lot of the practice during that time was very dehumanizing, and there was a lack of respect towards many patients. So I really want to make sure I integrate that properly into my work. There's also just a lot of other things I've been working on. Those are sort of my three main things I'm working on. I want to work on the possibility of publishing or producing a play, and my sci-fi series, I want to like get stuck in with it and really write it, because like I said, I've been writing this for a while. Obviously I'm rewriting the first draft now, but I've sort of got a really good idea of these characters and where the story's going to go, but I need to properly write the drafts out so that I can progress further with the series. And it's sort of similar with this other novel. I'm not incredibly far into it. I think I may be 100 pages into it. But it's going to be, I mean, I'm not entirely sure, because you can't always tell with pages because it depends on, obviously, the end of the book, if that makes sense. So my outline, I'm not going to make my book longer or shorter to fit a certain amount of pages, obviously. But I'm thinking it's going to be around 400, 500 pages, at least. But that's all subject to change, obviously. So I really want to go further into that novel, but I need to do a lot more research. And I think probably have a better outline of my novel. So I know the start and I know the end, and I know the main plot, but sort of in the middle is where I get a bit unsure of where the story's going. I feel like I'm sort of a bit more lost there. So obviously I have a basic idea of what's going to happen, but I've got a really strong start and a really strong ending, but the middle is just not where I need it to be yet. I think that's also why I've not been writing it recently, but hopefully I'll be able to get back into these projects. I've also got a few other things going on, a few short stories. I've really been trying to start entering short story competitions again. I used to do it a lot as a kid. I've been working more on novels. I've got some screenplay ideas that I've been trying to write. Even a bit of poetry, which is very unlike me. So there's quite a few things I've been working on recently, or at least things that I'm going to work on deeper in the next few months. So another big project that I'm working on, which I'm hoping is going to be a series. The book is a one-off book, but because I'm rewriting the novel, not entirely fully, but I started rewriting it last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. It's a really good idea, I personally think, but I need to really work on it because it's a mess. Like, what I've written at the start, the first 10, maybe 20 chapters are really strong and I really like, but the further we get into the book, the more lost it gets and the more of a mess it gets. So I really need to work on it, and I'm hoping to do some sort of series talking about me going through rewriting, maybe showing how I tackle rewriting a novel. That I'm very excited for, but I don't want to spoil too much of it yet. So hopefully you enjoyed this update. I want to do a full video explaining the plot of all these projects I'm working on and things like that, and I wanted to do something separate talking about rewriting novels. Hopefully I will be able to post some of that soon, and I hope you enjoyed this video.